For those that don't know, the Wireless Speaker and Audio Association, WiSA, what's the pitch on the association and everything you have going on?
Well, WiSA is an association of a little over 70 brands in the consumer electronics space. And our purpose is to leverage a technology that is really designed to make building home entertainment systems and speaker systems extremely easy while maintaining high definition, multi-channels, up to 8 channels, very tightly synchronized, very low latency audio.
Welcome into the Independent Thinking Podcast. This is your host, Rob Stott. The Wireless Speaker and Audio Association, it's been around for a few years now. I want to say officially, the group would just about be entering kindergarten this upcoming fall. But in such a relatively short amount of time, they've made a tremendous impact in the wireless speaker and audio space. I mean, you think about it, if you're familiar with audiophiles and sort of the reputation that wireless audio has in that space. It's not, traditionally hasn't been a great one, but because of the work of groups like WiSA, the wireless audio industry has really progressed tremendously in just a few short years. And it's really a testament to, their work creating certifications and working with consumer electronics audio brands and TV brands as well to create a system and products that allow high definition audio to travel wirelessly. And they've done such a great job buttoning up the product side of things. And it's always great to kind of hear about, the new products that are getting certified by the group and the members they've added to the organization over time. But a lot of other great stuff happening. And, it's why I always love catching up every now and again with Tony Ostrom, the president of WiSA, every once in a while, just to see where things are and kind of his thoughts on just the membership, the products that he's seeing come and get certified through the organization, and then also where he's looking to the future, what he wants to do with WiSA. And that's what we got into this week on the Independent Thinking Podcast, talking about some marketing assets and tools that they're working on at WiSA, along with some really cool opportunities for retailers in the space, including one that they're actively working on with a member of ours here at Nationwide Marketing Group. So just a great conversation. Happy to always have the chance to chat with Tony, and that's what we did this week. So let's just go ahead and dive into this Independent Thinking Podcast with Tony Ostrom of WiSA. All right, we are back on the Independent Thinking Podcast, and flash from the past here. It's been a while since we've been able to catch up, but this is not the first podcast we've done, Mr. Tony Ostrom, and I appreciate you on a whim coming in and deciding you wanted to spend a couple minutes with us here now at Nationwide Marketing Group to talk about what's going on with WiSA.
Absolutely. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Rob, and I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Well, for those who don't know, Tony is the president of the Wireless Speaker and Audio Association, WiSA. And you guys have, a lot going on that I'm really excited to dive into, but, I can only give so much of an overview, but for those that don't know WiSA and kind of what you guys do, what's the pitch on the association and everything you have going on?
Well, WiSA is an association of a little over 70 brands in the consumer electronics space. And those brands include TV manufacturers, speaker manufacturers, electronics and kind of transmitter manufacturers, manufacturers themselves, so we can train them on the technology, and even gaming, Xbox as an example. And our purpose is to leverage a technology that is really designed to make building home entertainment systems and speaker systems extremely easy while maintaining high definition, multi-channels, up to 8 channels, very tightly synchronized, very low latency audio. And so to standardize that, you need to make sure that, the transmitters and the speakers and everything involved speak the same language, that they see each other, they communicate correctly. That's what the certification part is. And then at the end of that, you get a plethora of transmitters, TVs, speakers, and all these things that can easily make up all these different great audio solutions for people in a matter of minutes without any of the traditional downfalls of other wireless technologies, be it low number of channels, high latency, poor signal quality. We have none of that. We're very tightly synchronized, high definition audio, and we're working with some great brands to do that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, to boil it down, it's kind of, instead of basically boxing a consumer into a specific brand, what WiSA does is allow them to kind of break out, pick what's right for them, or maybe they like a couple different brands, and sort of make all of those things work together to kind of build that system that they want that fits their needs, essentially.
100%, 100%. I mean, that's the old paradigm, right? You can pick your TV, you can pick your AVR, you can pick your subwoofer and your mains and everything else, and that's what we want to do now. We want the technology to be very ubiquitous across all the different touch points, all the different types of brands and types of products and categories, and that's where we're getting. We have now transmitters that work with hundreds of millions of TVs. We have a great dais of speaker partners, Klipsch, Enclave, Bang & Olufsen, Harman. There are numerous speakers in the field now, and more coming, and even specific niche kind of applications. Like we just certified a product that's dedicated to in-ceiling Atmos applications. So if you already have an existing system and you want to add or upgrade, that's possible. So it's really an exciting time. We're seeing a lot of growth and a lot of new cool products.
And the crazy thing is, something you haven't mentioned is that you're still in your, I don't want to say infancy, because you've been around for a bit now, but it's only, I mean, it's less, 5 years old, maybe?
Yeah, to really be mainstream, that's about right. We had a couple of brands that were kind of doing everything soup to nuts. And that was great. And we learned a lot about the application and how people perceive it and receive it, what they do with installs, things like that. Bang & Olufsen was one of the first. Klipsch, Enclave, Axum. Some of these guys made the transmitter, the speakers, everything, and that was great, and they still do. But now, like I say, and like you said, you can kind of put things together. Like, I want this TV, I want that subwoofer, I want these mains, and the technology makes it all work tour
Wireless home theater setups a la carte, which is pretty cool.
Exactly.
I
Whatever
mean,
you want.
The world is your your home theater is your oyster. So it's kind of what it comes down to. But
Absolutely.
You mentioned you guys have been busy of late. I know the last year's been kind of crazy for everyone, but if you look, just take a quick gander at the WiSA press page that you guys have. I think I counted like 7 or 8 press releases maybe in the last 6 or 7 weeks. So you're staying busy. What's going on? What are some of the big updates that you guys have going on right now?
Oh my gosh. Well, one of the big updates for us is massively expanding connectivity through a transmitter that we actually brought to market, which is a little odd for an association, but the purpose was we had lots of speaker brands with lots of great products, and they really wanted to be able to connect to a huge number of TVs. And so we basically created a couple of platforms that can be used by any brand if they want to take it and make something their own and put all their own special sauce and magic and everything in it. But we brought one of them to market because we wanted the speaker guys and retailers to be able to say any TV can become part of a WiSA system. And that was a product called SoundSend. And SoundSend since then has won a CES Innovation Award. It's won a Dealerscope Impact Award. It won a Twice Picks Award and a Stevie Award. But basically, it's a small transmitter that works with any TV via ARC or eARC or even optical, and makes it able to transmit to WiSA certified speakers. That's been huge. We've had, like I said, Life Audio has created some in-ceiling Atmos solutions that are fantastic. Onkyo in Japan has created a system called SoundSphere that's receiving rave reviews and has a ton of orders already, which is exciting to see, another region of the world adopting and embracing the technology. Bang & Olufsen is bringing to market the BioLab 28, which is a phenomenal, it's a B&O speaker, but it's a phenomenal product. The list kind of goes on and on. You can check out the page like you did, but. It's a constant, stream of cool things and cool products being brought to market.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing too is that it kind of shows how this space is maturing in a sense, in that so many players are getting into it. The products are being launched in this wireless audio space. So, I mean, just from your perspective, the time you've been involved with WiSA, to see how wireless audio has evolved, or and kind of the work you've done. I mean, what's that been like to be involved with, and just from where it started to kind of where it is today?
Well, it's funny. There's a couple of different kind of worlds collide, because wireless audio, as we all know, was pretty taboo. And it was, well, I've had experiences with this tech or that tech or whatever, and it got better, for a lot of the two-channel applications, and those initial technologies have come a long way, but there was a there was a trust that had to be gained for it to really be a home cinema application. And I think we've done that and then some. And I think when you talk about the brands that have adopted the technology, I mean, when you're in, 80 and $90,000 speakers, and $799 and $899 all in one 5.1 systems, and it's the same module, there's a credibility there that says, look, this is a great technology, and it's applicable to these designs. So there was that hurdle, right? And then there's the other part where we've got to get back in front of people with the story of true home cinema, and that it's a good idea to put your front speakers more than 3 or 4 feet apart, that it's a good idea to have a subwoofer, a capable subwoofer, or 2 or 3 or whatever. And all my subwoofer guys out there are very happy to hear me say that. But I mean, I'm an old school JL audio guy, so the more subs the better, right? And then I went to clips, which is the same thing. But telling that story again, and how you can really have that cinema experience in your home, is a whole nother level to this. And then you couple those things together and you're like, oh, that great experience, it's really easy now. So seeing all that stuff kind of materialize, sink in, and then be accepted. And now we're trying to tell that story, and our Wave marketing program, which is a new thing we can talk about if you want, but is really us saying, okay, we have all these components now, we have all this support, we have all these great products, let's go tell the world, and that's really what we're trying to do. So it's a great position to be in right now.
Definitely. And I do want to dive into some of that, but before that, thinking about what this last year has done to all sorts of industries, but that specifically to you guys, and we can get supply chain, and I know chip things are going on still, but what, just to the wireless audio space in general from a consumer standpoint, did this year, I feel like with more consumers staying at home and understanding their lack of quality of what they were getting from their what their home setups were at a time when they were forced to sit on their couches more often than they already were. You don't want to talk about it like it was a good thing that people were forced to take a closer look at what they were, experiencing from an entertainment standpoint. But did this year have any benefits, or how did it impact kind of the work that you guys do, and the ability to tell that story to a consumer?
Right. No, I think that obviously the situation was pretty awful, but you take those situations and you see the outcome, and what you learned along the way, and the changes that had to be made, and then where those lead you in some situations might improve things. It's kind of like, well, colds and the flu were down because everybody was washing their hands and wearing a mask.
Right.
Well, those are good things. The reason behind it was awful, but and I think people staying at home so much, I like to look at it like we're on this this Zoom call, and a year and a half ago, how many people were terrified of the concept of a video conference call, and now it's like, oh, I do it 4 or 5 times a day. It's I think that the familiarity and things like that just took a massive step forward, and I think that applies to the home entertainment experience, and specifically content. How many people had a Netflix subscription but didn't really know everything that was capable of, or Hulu, or any of these things? And now as you've dug in and realized, oh my gosh, I can get all this great content, and it could sound just like a cinema, and I could make that happen really easily. But we've got a lot of our members that experienced, significant growth in some categories because people were, we use the term invest in your nest. And I think that people did that a lot. And we saw kind of even non-cohort categories, but home improvement categories where it was tough to find office furniture. We tried to buy a trampoline for our backyard. They were on months of back order. And these are high priced items that people were going out and saying, well, I'm going to be here. I'm going to make this place better, more homey, more conducive to entertainment, more conducive to work, whatever. We saw that happen in the home entertainment industry. And I think now if you look at more TV or more movies coming direct,
Right.
the production quality was already crazy. But I mean, even TV shows are, you sit there and binge watch something. It's like, oh my gosh, this is nothing like when I was a kid. It's so much easier now to make things better, and the desire to make them better is more prominent. So I think coming out of this, people know what's possible and how easy it is to make that, come to fruition in their own homes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing too now, kind of coming out the other side of this, is that people are gonna, there's opportunity obviously presents itself because they're aware of what they have. But then also as they start to look out, there's people that can and will continue to shop online the way they have over these past 12, 14 months. But they're ready to. We've seen in some of our own reporting on the Nationwide blog about how shoppers are gearing up to the foot traffic is starting to trend up and back to kind of those pre-pandemic levels, but kind of presents an opportunity there then for these retailers to start buttoning up those experiences in their stores and help tell that story to the consumer to convince them of these types of technologies and things and what they can do to improve that in-home entertainment experience. And not planned, but kind of a nice segue to get back to the things you guys are doing, because I know you've got the product. You're always looking to add product and work on those get more products certified, WiSA certified. But your attention now is also turning to as you mentioned, the marketing side of things, and we can also dive into some of the retail things you guys are doing, maybe. So start there. What's going on with WiSA from the marketing side of things?
Well, we're doing a lot more now to support the brands that are bringing products out, as well as our retail partners and buying groups and the people that are helping tell that story. It's a great segue because there's so much more now to reference. Before somebody would come into the store and you're trying to find a way to connect, and now it's what do you watch at home? Because they watch something.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there all the time, so you can connect, and the content and so much of it being in multi-channel, it's an easy connection to make. We have a massive initiative now called the Wave Marketing Initiative, and it's basically we find ourselves in kind of this great spot between brands bringing products to market, between excellent opportunities like talking to you today, and other PR opportunities and marketing opportunities, to dealing with retailers, to combine everything and educate the consumer. And so on our website, you're going to see more and more just general audio knowledge, educating on basic, home theater applications. Why is it good to have speakers separated? Why is it good to have a subwoofer or multiple subwoofers? Like I said before, why is it good to have these various components? How do you set it up? What are the benefits? What do you need to look for based on your space? All these things that we think we could help, that retailers are telling them all the time, but we're seeing such an increase in traffic on our website as we get more exposure and people are more interested in what's going on, that we feel that the onus is on us to convey an educational message, be it these general topics, or be it what is WiSA, what is wireless home theater, what are the benefits, right down to where can you go buy these products. So we want to work with retailers to say, look, if you're carrying a couple different speaker lines and a WiSA ready TV, which include LG and Hisense and others to come, and a transmitter. We want you to become a WiSA certified retailer. We'll help train you. We'll help bring people to you. We'll take somewhere this year, probably between 2 and 5 million people that come to our website, learning about the category. We'll make sure that they have an opportunity to get to your website, get to the products you're selling, and we'll help that whole process. So we're trying to do a lot more categoric marketing to raise the awareness level of what's out there and how it can help make your home a great place to hang out.
No, that's awesome. And I think, like you said, a great opportunity as people are driving back out into these stores, to ensure that, you're giving them the right type of experience. We always hear about the importance of a demo and what a demo can do. And now, you're not, you kind of think of what retail used to be, and maybe it was sort of the precursor for what you guys have been able to figure out with WiSA, but stringing together all these different products to kind of make a experience that work. But now there's a solution for them. Now that you guys have everything, all the work you've done, it is something that can be seamlessly integrated into their stores. And no, it makes for I think that great demo, great opportunity to talk to consumers, and cool to see. Any work being done, or how's it gone from these early standpoints? Is there any examples or anything that of these early stages of what a WiSA certified retailer could look like?
Well, a great example, and someone who's really jumped on board, has been Electronics Express. They have been a great partner in this. They got involved right about the time that we were doing a lot of work with Hisense, and they've put together some bundles. They've embraced the WiSA concept, and that's a good example of we're going to take TVs and transmitters and speakers, and we're going to put them together. We're going to tell the story, and it's the tip of the iceberg of what we can do. But it's a great example of how this thing's going to start to unfold. And given the opportunity to come in and help merchandise, help train, and really bring the whole thing together on the floor. Because you're right. I mean, we sell we as a category sell very experiential products, and that you can do all the research you want online and all that, but actually standing or sitting there and hearing what is capable, and most of the time it's going to sound as good or better when you get it in your home and play your content, sit on your couch, drink your beer and eat your popcorn, and being able to do that in the store and have that demo is critical. And so you're right, getting people back out there and having all these assets around them and all the training experience, we're ready. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah. So maybe it's kind of explaining what Electronics Express has going on, but what does, in your mind, what does that ideal WiSA certified retail experience look like?
Yeah. So we want to work with retailers that are going to have a couple different speaker lines that are WiSA certified, that have a TV line or lines that are WiSA ready, and then a transmitter that would work with all the other TVs. So they've got a lot of different options to work with. We would help train them, help train their staff. We would try to coordinate as much as we could with those other member brands, because it's difficult sometimes to align a bunch of different brands that you work with. But as an association, we can do that. And we can do that pretty easily. So we can say, look, here's a retailer, they want to put together packages with this, blah, blah, blah. Or they're just carrying these and they want to be able to a la carte everything together. Let's work together and make sure they're trained. And then we want to make sure that they understand all the different products they have in store that will work together. And that's part of us and working with the brands to make sure that, the WiSA certified or WiSA ready logo is on packaging, that it's in the materials, that's on their websites. And then it's us representing them on our website. So like I say, the couple of million people that are going to come through WiSA this year, we want to make sure that they realize, oh, these products are available here, and I can actually go get that demo that you're talking about, right? And that we can even help, as we market outward to make sure that regionally we're reaching the right people that are around that retailer, so they're aware that right down the street I can go learn all about this stuff. I'm in the car. Let's go. Now that people are getting back out there, and make that experience, that whole journey, more cohesive and end with a great demo.
No, that's awesome. And like I said, it's just cool because knowing what those early days were like, and having been following your story for so long, it's just neat to see where it's come to. And now, how things have kind of like what we have been talking about, but turned around to where now you're actively out there assisting these retailers and looking to build that experience that, is worthy of having that WiSA certified retailer, mark designated there. So it's cool. It's been great catching up with you, man. I look forward to doing it in person again here soon. But
I look forward to it immensely. It'll be great.
No, that's awesome, Tony. I appreciate you taking the time and checking in with us. And yeah, just look forward to catching up. Best of luck to you as you guys, march on through the rest of 21 here.
Thank you so much, Rob. Always appreciate it, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, and a huge thank you again to Tony for stepping up and calling in and talking about some great topics. I always love hearing about his thoughts on this wireless audio space and where it's going, and just the way they've created this a la carte type option for consumers of audio and video and wireless audio. So just a cool organization. Have enjoyed following them, and like I said at the top, always love catching up with Tony when the opportunity presents itself. So again, appreciate him taking the time, calling into the Independent Thinking Podcast, and as always, appreciate you listening to the Independent Thinking Podcast, and we will catch you next time.